Good morning from beautiful Brisbane, Australia. My name's Linda and today we're going to look at 12 steps to help you overcome emotional eating, and we're going to do it in relation to complex PTSD. I'll just grab up our list. Now, what you need to do is be willing to take notes about things that stand out for you, things that leap out and light up and go, yes, that's an area I need to work on. Take the notes to your therapist or your coach and gain some further clarity and strategies in order that they can work with you personally to help you overcome the emotional eating. Now, we want to give our body the right kind of fuel. The right kind of fuel lines up with number 2, which is eat good carbs. If it's white, forget it. And it's true. I tried many different ways of eating. I tried having food delivered, calorie controlled, whatever it is. So only eating the right food and exercising. I tried the shakes. And, on and on the list goes. I was raised in a generation when you didn't eat fat, okay? It was the big no-no, but of course eating sugar was fine. Wasn't really. You had to minimise the sugar. But eventually for me, the right kind of fuel came in line with if it's white, forget it. And I now eat a ketogenic way of life. I am not advocating it for you. It is not for everybody. But what I am advocating is find the right kind of food and the right kind of way of eating that suits your particular body, okay? Because when you do that, you will feel full and you're less inclined to want to eat when you become emotional because you know you're full. It's the last thing your brain will go to, okay? And also experiment with what sugar does. If you watch the film The Magic Pill, you will see in real life what sugar does to your brain. Now, for some of us, we can be a bit cynical or like disbelieving, but when we have the experience ourselves, we can go, yes, I get it. So what will happen if you're emotionally overeating and you're reaching for sugar all the time, then the overeating becomes compounded because the sugar in the food signals to your brain and your brain actually goes, well, you're actually more hungry. And you're sitting there, and I know for me, I'd go, why am I more hungry? I've just eaten a bunch of stuff. Chocolate and I used to be like this, okay? And believe it or not, I can have it in the fridge. I don't touch the stuff anymore. Well, it's a rare day that I would. I just don't. I don't need to. So when you're eating the right way for you, you actually have no desire for the sugar stuff, all right? So then if you're going to emotionally overeat, you're going to eat a boiled egg or, a cheese stick or something else, which is way better for you than eating sugar, okay? So do yourself a favour. If you're going through trying to conquer emotional eating, have some good food in your fridge, like boiled eggs, cheese sticks, not the plastic kind like that they give kids. These days you can get actual tasty cheese sticks in actual cheese sticks. You don't have to buy the big block. And just munch on one of them, okay? And you actually feel full from it, so you're less inclined to overeat sugary stuff, okay? Manage your stress with complex PTSD. The first part of managing your stress is to admit you're stressed. And I am so totally guilty of that. I used to run around, I had one of those capes on that nobody else saw, but I wore it, okay? I was Superwoman. I could do it all. Well, I used to believe that I had to do it all, but what we need to do is acknowledge that we can take our cape off and just go, look, I'm stressed and I have to sit down and work out what I'm stressed about, how I can go about it differently, or even how I used to go about it and it doesn't work. So I want to find new ways through my stress, okay? Spot the triggers. Now, if you've got complex PTSD, you're already working with spotting the triggers that go off that separate your amygdala from your prefrontal cortex, okay, so it puts your body into hypervigilance. The triggers for overeating, emotional overeating, will be different, so you will be able to discern them more logically and sit down and go, right, what's happening here? Why do I feel like running to the fridge? What emotions am I trying to hide from? What stress haven't I found a solution for before? And as you make notes, write this down so that you can go, right, okay, I need to put more thought into this. And as you do that, then you either see your therapist or coach and come up with different strategies, different solutions, different ideas. And you may not get it right the next time, but what happens is it's a process that is refining. So as you refine what works and what doesn't work, then you can nail what will work for you as an individual, all right? We can't do one size fits all because how the trauma has affected us from childhood is very different, okay? But what we can do is communicate with others who are helping us through our journey and gain greater insight and creative solutions, okay? I know you can do this. Retrain your brain. Now, retraining your brain is something that we need to do in complex PTSD. Pardon me. Sorry. Because it's been trained in the wrong way as we grew up. So training our brain in overeating means that we become aware of when we are full. So when we want to overeat emotionally, we can go, well, no, I don't actually need to eat. So we're retraining our brain not to reach for food immediately. Of course, if you're hungry and you've been triggered into emotional overeating, you can't fight it. You will have to eat. So again, reach for the healthy foods. But then you put in place, you go back to one, you go and the right kind of fuel for your body so that when you get emotionally triggered, you're not hungry, okay? Phone a friend. And if you're in group, head into group and say, this is what's happened, I've been triggered. Phone your friend, say the same thing and say, I just want to talk through this so I can come up with a different solution about how I want to deal with this. And I have times when I phone a friend and I say, this is what's happening, yada, yada, yada. I just need to talk it out because when I get it out, I'm not giving it any power. And then we ended up catching up and having a good old chat about their life, our life, etc., etc. So phone a friend or jump into group and let us be your greatest cheer squad. What's your goal? Now, let me give you a heads up here. Don't make your goal about weight. All right. This comes into number 8 as well. Throw the scales away. I'm telling you, a set of scales, unless you're one in a million people, screw with your head. All right. I do not get on them. I refuse to get on them because I absolutely admit they screw with my head. All right. They're not realistic for me. I just want to lose the weight because it's not who I am. And I don't want to overeat because it doesn't contribute to who I am, all right? They're the things that keep me focused on solving the issues that come up that used to make me emotionally overeat. And I can tell you honestly that I don't emotionally, I can say I don't emotionally overeat 99.9% of the time because I'm not hungry, okay? And if my brain says, oh, you're hungry, I check in with my gut. And if I'm full, I'm like, I'm not hungry. So that's part of retraining your brain, is recognizing when you need to tell your brain, no, I'm not hungry. A lot of rubbish. I don't need to eat. I need to sit down and work out what's happening for me emotionally, where I need to take responsibility for finding solutions to whatever's upset me. Okay? And look, I couldn't say it strongly enough. Throw the damn scales away. When you're confident in who you are and who I am, nobody cares about your size because you're emitting such beautiful love and kindness and compassion for yourself and for others. Size doesn't matter, okay? My journey to get rid of the weight is because it doesn't represent who I am, okay? And in 6 months I lost 2 sizes, and that's how we tell the difference, is in our clothes. And take photos if you go on particular weight loss or particular way of eating to help you lose weight, and that's how you see the difference, all right? I don't know what it is about the scales, but, they fluctuate every day. If you're someone who can do it, great. If not, throw them away. They are not going to help your goal. Now, your goal also needs to be, right, in 3 months, I want to see an improvement on which area of your health, okay? So when I first started doing the breathing exercises that we talk about in group, my goal was I wanted to be able to see a difference in the space of a week, all right? And because I could see a difference in doing the breathing exercises, I continued on with them. So make short-term goals. Don't make long-term goals. Oh, I'm going to do this and by next year, there'll be a difference. No, they don't work because then you give up on it. You want short-term goals to keep track of what's happening, all right? Because it can be hard with complex PTSD in the early stages to maintain focus. Definitely right away. Grab a journal. Look, you can get these little books from Kmart in Australia, Walmart in the US, and all around the world, even online, okay? They're only a couple of dollars, and you can get thinner ones than this. Oh, I don't have my thin one here. But you can carry it with you, and if something happens when you're out, write it down, because all of that information will help you realise all the steps that are falling into place that get you to where you want to eat. And that information is invaluable. Also, write down how you're feeling. Very, very important, because then it helps you identify the first part of where you can catch the trigger, all right? Join a group. Either join a group for emotional overeating or come and join our group where we'll be your greatest cheer squad for everything, okay? Check your surroundings. This is really important, especially with complex PTSD, because we want to look around and we want to see if there's something that's triggered us into I'm not safe mode. So I'm not safe is when our amygdala and our prefrontal cortex aren't working together and we've been triggered into hypervigilance. And because all the chemicals go to fight or flight, we can't access our proper filing cabinet for the emotions, all right? We just can't do it. So what you want to do is get back in touch with how you're feeling, do your deep breathing, repeat repeatedly, I am safe, and feel that I am safe. But make note, if you can, of what's triggered you, all right? If you are out in what do they call it, a food court, so a shopping centre where you all sit down to eat, and, become aware if the noise is too much for you. Did that trigger your anxiety? All right? Touch some things, ground yourself. Notice what's going on for you emotionally, and it'll be like the biggest aha moment. Right, now I know what it is. I can learn to deal with it. Be okay with being human. Complex PTSD can be a real pain like this because of the childhood abuse. We actually go through life believing we have to be perfect in order to be safe, all right? So we want to get really super comfortable with being human, which means we're going to make mistakes. The plus side is that when we make a mistake, we can take responsibility because we're the adults now, and we can learn how to go about things with different strategies, different coping mechanisms, different soothing techniques, and so much more. All right, that's it for today. Remember, take your notes to your therapist or your coach. get some really good healthy strategies for you, nail down what you need to do. Remember, you won't get it right the first time, might not even the second time, but it's consistency that matters above and beyond everything else. If you're on YouTube, remember to hit subscribe to get the latest videos. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to comment down below any questions or comments that you have, and I'm always happy to help as much as I possibly can. And that's it for today. Bye for now.